Ghostbusters! I don't know it.
Dude, it's still amazing that you can get that close.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a fucking...
No,
it's a drum.
How the fuck does it go?
No, the instruments he has is but he can still go. He can still blow that. He can still blow that.
Let's go. I'll do the beat. Keep going.
Dude, that was still great. Don't be silly.
Right,
dude, you sell yourself so fucking short.
I'll do the Family Guy theme song.
Okay.
Because I kind of can guess that one.
All right, this is the last one.
Okay.
We gotta move on.
It seems today.
Loud that is.
You look so happy when you're playing that, by the way.
fucking loud that
You have
is.
the biggest fucking smile on your face. Yeah.
Question, do you like that?
Yeah. So we gotta move on to the next question.
Wait for him to sit down.
All right. Here's a good one. This one is by.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom. I've never noticed this before. My wiener is huge. It can barely fit in my hand.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. All right, Boba Koosh says, what do you guys think about your younger audiences? Should they be watching/listening to your stuff?
All right, so here's the deal. When I was 14, I was watching the most heinous shit ever, and I turned out just fine. It's like, but you know what? Here's the thing, though. Even when I was a kid, I still drew my own boundaries.
Yeah.
I watched like shit, but then there was places that I wouldn't go.
Same thing.
Like, because I still had like this. I still had a trigger that I did not a trigger. I still had a filter.
Yeah, your limit.
A threshold.
Threshold.
For me, it was more like I didn't want my parents seeing the history.
Why is he
on my
fucking
computer.
14 or a kid?
That's another reason, but like the other reason is I also didn't like certain things. I wasn't a fan of people getting mutilated and gore. I hated blood when I was a kid. So seeing that stuff, I avoided it at any chance I got. When I found out about Rotten.com, that fucking scarred me. And I just remember that one thing. And I never looked at that kind of stuff. I always avoided it.
At the same time, what kind of shitty question is that? Because it's not like we're bad people doing.
I think
That's
it's an age-old question.
But
Like,
it's also
should certain content be made, or how can you make sure younger audience still watch that? But I never got that question because I've always viewed kids. I mean, I think people really underestimate how smart kids are. I remember being like
That too.
I remember being 5 years old. My parents were like mouth out the word "fuck," F-U-C-K. It's like kids aren't stupid. Kids are exactly as self-aware. 5 and 15 is that you know a little bit more shit. 15 and 30, you slightly, and it's like being 30 to 80. It's like thinking a 30-year-old is stupid compared to an 80-year-old.
But I feel like the internet is like, it's different. It's fair game. When you go on the internet.
the Wild West.
Yeah, it's like.
But I mean, like, a 14-year-old knows he wants to watch something raunchy or whatever.
And it's like this. It's like there's people who censor themselves, but then there's also stuff on the internet. It's just straight fucking porn. Like there's no censors, and it's like people try to dictate it. It's like, oh, this is the internet, but it's fine. It's like if you want your audience to be kids' audience, it's based entirely on what you mean. Because like
if you give your kids internet access and don't watch what they do, it's fair game. It's not up to the people. It's up to you to be a good fucking parent if you don't want your kids to watch some stuff.
It's also like
I was still clever though when I was a kid, even though they didn't.
Every kid is. I'm saying kids aren't stupid, dude.
What often baffles me is like in a situation like this where people like get upset about that. This is another thing that always confused me. These mature games that come out like Grand Theft Auto. It's like my kid was playing Grand Theft Auto and he was killing a hooker and he's like 13 years old and it's like
where did he get the money to buy it?
Yeah, it's like why is your 13-year-old kid? How can you bring this up to the court and be like my 13-year-old son was playing a rated R basically game and it's like that's your own goddamn fault.
What, he get a job and then money and then went to the store to buy a game? They won't even sell it to kids. A parent bought it for him.
I remember my dad took me to an R-rated movie and got really mad when there was like swearing and he stormed out. Because I was like 10 or 11.
That's what I don't understand. Like it's like kids are
dumbass.
No, it's rated R. The guy who told us.
Start on the internet anyways.
Like 1996.
No,
14.
how old were you guys?
15.
You were 15 when you got
Wow,
your
really?
Okay, you?
I was like 13 or 14.
13.
Yeah, I must have been. I was really.
Because I didn't
outdoorsy.
understand
I was an outdoorsy like, kind of sports kid. I played outside a lot until I was like probably 13.
You know, we did too.
I got it when I was 11.
I just didn't understand what the internet was. I didn't, because I didn't have.
I think it's probably a little bit.
My internet was fucking like black with white text.
I didn't use it
to get Mortal
It was all
Kombat
chat
cards.
rooms when
I
I
wasn't
Yeah.
allowed to use it until I was 13, right? But like, I'm just wondering, like,
It was chat rooms and
I get scared
buds.
when I go on YouTube and it's like I am 7 years old. Somebody will like be on a video or a music video that came out like 2009 and they're like I was 4 or 3 when this came out and they're like what the fuck?
Oh, Charlie!
Yeah.
you guys are saying, right?
Don't fight me!
You guys are saying like yeah, you should like smart kids on the internet work because they know what they're doing anyways, right?
Yeah.
But like, do you guys not think like when the younger a kid is, the more likely they're gonna make a complete ass of themselves on the internet and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying
Look, history now.
all of us got lucky because when we were kids we did stupid shit. It got erased.
Yeah.
Maybe we did or said some stupid shit, but it got erased because it was pretty early.
Well, now we're doing it here on the podcast, and it's going to do history.
I can't believe
Yeah,
that
now-
my life isn't ruined from something I put on the internet.
Yeah, now it's like if you were born like 2010, good lord, your life's gonna be awful.
Well, you were
My
joking about
internet-
like we would have presidents who like during their campaign, people would be pulling up like,
Yeah.
you know, the shit that they posted.
Yeah,
to their
I
kids.
They're doing like the Harlem Shake. And
Yeah,
like, wow,
exactly.
Yeah, no,
Danny
yeah, it's
Ain's
gonna be
here.
like you're gonna pull up a president from like the 2036 election. or
imagine?
whatever.
Yeah, that's
And he's gonna be
in school, he's
gonna be
doing like
hammered,
the
he's
fucking
like 10 years
caramel
old.
I ain't
dance.
voting for that
Kicking his
asshole.
ass.
Ranting about Sonic the Hedgehog while shitting a diaper. You're like, whoa, man, this guy's gonna lead the country.
That's the guy's rebuttal. He's like, well, I understand what you're saying about taxes, but at least I wasn't doing
Yeah, he's like, my guy's worried about like taxes and fair game for everybody. He's like, but he also did a video of like
He didn't
having
even
a sticky
say that.
diaper
He
on
just
his shirt.
his rebuttal was literally just like, yeah, that's
Oh,
a good
yeah,
point
you
you
know-
make about taxes, but how about this? And he just presses play.
And then everyone's
Hit
like,
him up on
the
the
fucking
screen.
audience is like,
He's practicing his Naruto movements.
He falls over and
I
kicks a
rest
lamp.
my case, and everyone's like, "That's a good point." That
yeah,
is a
but then
good
he
point.
pulls up him and he's like, whatever, dude, I got dirt too. And the
That's
guy's
true.
like, he's like, gets all scared and then he pops it up and it's like him, like,
It's true.
It's like him, like, singing to his first girlfriend, like a fucking Backstreet Boy song. He's like, I was just learning. I didn't understand what I was getting into.
As far as the question, though, like how I feel about our younger audiences listening to us, I'll say this, and I think it kind of plays into what everyone said, is that kids are going to find shit. They're going to find the dirtiest. They're going to find the nastiest.
Humans
they're
are
going to find the
naturally
raunchiest shit.
drawn to that,
because
man.
they're curious and they're growing up and whatever. But I will say that no matter how extreme we are at times, I think at the end of the day, we make jokes about race and we make jokes about all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, everyone knows that we do believe that you should treat people with respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that we're not fucking trolls and we're not here to
No.
like push.
This is common
we're not
sense,
bullies
yeah.
pushing people over and shit like that and
No.
spitting in
No,
their
there's
food.
common
joke.
decency and
Right.
be a good person.
But I think that's what they would get, though, is that they would get the fun, wacky, rebellious side, but at the same time, don't be a fucking idiot. Like, have fun and be crazy and be yourself, but don't be a fucking asshole.
And I would even go so far as to say, hopefully some of the stupid stories we tell, like, oh man, when I was 15 I did this, hopefully that can make people learn, and not like, I don't think people would be encouraged.
But that was the
by
one thing I didn't have when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
if I did see that rebellious shit, I was always turned on by it, because
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to do that. And seeing other people do it got me all psyched. But I never got to see the other side of it, which was, we're being crazy and raunchy.
But also do your
whatever,
taxes and make your bed.
we tell
You can apply. Don't be a dick to any situation.
we should also
It's
tell
true,
people.
but so many people don't learn that, especially when they're kids. They think being a dick is the fucking.
We should
cool
also
top
tell
of it.
people.
Yeah.
This is also. I think we should also tell people that if you have videos of like, let's say you lip syncing to Cotton Eye Joe, you should probably private that shit in case you do run for president.
You dick.
I
I'm
think,
trying to hold back my self-expression.
come on, tell us something about a video you did or something?
I did the hamster dance, terrible dancing thing. It was fun at the time.
If you were to log into Corey's account and you were to look at your private videos, I'm sure there's
telling-
just a fucking treasure trove of embarrassing
I was
bullshit.
suspended like 16 times. I had not a fucking eye.
Also, I think it's cool, like, if, like 12, 14, whatever kids are listening and we tell stories about how school was hard. It's,
Yeah.
it's relatable. in
No,
that
it is.
way.
Yeah, that's what I also like, and that's another thing I really like. It may sound weird to say, but it's like Mick, you and Stamper and Jeff are older than us, and but you're not that much older than us, but like we all know like our high school years.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of interesting in that way.
You know what's funny? I don't think we'd ever run out of high school stories. That was literally the most, like, so much fucking
Yeah.
shit happened, good and bad, mostly weird and awkward. But that was literally like college was a big drunken, drug-induced blur for me. And then everything after that was work. But high school was like this really bizarre time of like betrayals and love.
I think what's interesting too is I don't think there's a lot of people out there who can actually tell. I'm not trying to toot our horns here, but I think we talk how people talk.
Yeah.
Like when people talk about high school, they're like, high school was so great. It's like, dude, high school was
a nightmare, dude.
By the way,
nightmares
yes,
about
me too.
high school every day.
Can I say this?
You know, it's like me and Zach have talked about this. It's like you wake up in like a fucking fear, and you're suddenly in class, and the teacher's like, "You've been gone for 1,385 days."
Yeah.
And it's like, look at all this homework you have, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I need to pass. I need to pass 11th grade." And then you're like, "Wait,
nobody was there.
fuck you, teacher."
Nobody was in high school. I knew people who, when I was already out of high school, I knew people who were going into it like terrified.
Dude,
and I wish I had somebody to tell me like high school doesn't fucking matter.
Do you still get like high school tears just randomly?
Yeah,
Where
I
you're
do.
like,
I absolutely do. And the first thought that goes through my head is, oh shit, yes, I'm not in school.
I'm not going to school today. Yeah.
You are so amped that you aren't.
6 years.
No,
And then I go out and go to get coffee, and then I see all these kids getting on a bus, and I'm like,
I love that feeling. I love like driving
Fuck
or
you,
walking.
old man, and you're like, fuck you, kids, you got school,
I love that
bitch.
feeling when you driving or walking somewhere, you see kids on the bus, and you're like, oh, I'm not in school. I can go get candy right now.
my
Nobody
God.
can fucking stop me.
I love
Candy,
pulling up
like,
behind a
fucking candy
bus.
in front of
Yeah.
You pull up
being a
behind the bus.
psychopath, being happy that other people are feeling like miserable.
No, that you're not miserable. They're miserable. That you're not miserable.
Schadenfreude. What's that called? Schadenfreude?
Well, you know, we pull up behind a bus,
Yeah.
and then like you're looking in the back, and then all the
Flash your
kids,
dick at them.
all the kids are like in the back, like making stupid faces at you.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what,
I'm not in school, you
asshole.
fucking pussy.
Laugh it up. Laugh it up.
Yeah, laugh it up,
Is it
dick.
called-
Enjoy your day at school, bitch.
Enjoy the
term
soggy
called
pads at lunch, you
Schadenfreude?
fucking idiot.
Schadenfreude?
Is that what it's called?
Did you guys ever hear Soggy Biscuits?
You know, sometimes you
Yes.
rip out phrases.
No, it's
where
a
I'm
German
like,
term.
No, he's right.
That is
I
right.
think it.
It's
But
a
sometimes
German
you're
term.
absolutely right.
It's
So-
a German term. Shad told me it's someone you
It's
get,
taking pleasure from someone else's pain.
yeah, from someone else's misfortune. Schadenfreude, I think it's called.
No, but I think we should just loop back
Asshole
on to
syndrome.
the beginning of the first
My
question.
parents told me that when I was going to school that I'd have to do Soggy Biscuits and I just have to like just take it and do it just to get like
What the hell, soggy
Yeah,
biscuits?
what the fuck is
it's
a
when a
soggy
bunch of
biscuit?
dudes crowd around like a biscuit.
You never heard about
And
this?
jizz on it. And then
Jizz
you-
on it.
No.
Wait, your
no,
parents told you that?
Yeah, they were like, Chris, now people might hold you down and pee in you, but don't worry, pee is sterile. And it was like,
What?
wow, thanks mom, thanks dad.
Are you fucking serious? I'm not
A
kidding.
soggy biscuit is when a bunch of guys get on the
Pyramid is
biscuit
fucked
and they
up.
all jizz on the biscuit. The last guy,
That's not a joke.
the last guy who can't
They're
do
just
the biscuit has to eat the biscuit.
They had
right, yeah,
they had to
yeah.
do the soggy
Can't
biscuit.
Yeah, they're like, Chris, just eat the biscuit. It doesn't matter.
You're just like you're about me to
like,
learn
just-
math.
I'd rather you eat the biscuit than they stamp on your face. It's like, thanks mom, thanks dad. It's great.
But I was gonna eat.
But then they're worried about you going on the internet and watching some fucking
Jack
porn.
off real slow. It's like, that's
Eat this
my biscuit.
jizz-covered biscuit, but don't watch internet porn.
My dad was like, all up until I was 17, he was like, you better not be watching what I think you're watching in there. It's like, fuck off. Like,
For me, like
17.
Soggy biscuit videos.
for me, like I was going to just doing research. Go to like I was talking about college with my like crazy Christian aunt, and she's like, "Don't go to that. They're all gay. They all make you do gay hazing." And also, like then she went on a rant about how Pokemon is the devil, and she just had like all
I had local
she
tweet
had
out
all
on
these
7.
conspiracies.
I saw that video
And my
too.
stepdad was riding in the back with her, and then when he got out, his face was so fucking red, and he was just like, "Don't listen to her. She's a fucking idiot." And I like we were walking into McDonald's, and then she started talking about all these conspiracies, like every conspiracy you've ever heard. She believes in the 240p reptilian quality like faces. She was like bringing
Oh,
it
the
up.
eyes, the
compression,
blinking eyes.
the video compression is like
Yeah.
aliens.
She's like
reptoids.
bringing up these Windows Movie Maker videos from 2006, and she's like, I don't know what to say. This like to me, this is real evidence. And I was just like, and then my stepdad is just shaking his fucking head, like he doesn't know what to think.
Why don't you just like compress a video of her and show it to her?
Yeah, give it to her. But
Give her reptilian eyes.
like, have you ever
That'll
looked in a
teach her.
fucking mirror?
Yeah.
You show it to her, you'd be like, look, you're one too. And she just jump off the bridge.
But to summarize, I think if you're a good parent, you'll keep your kids from watching what you don't want them to watch. It's not up to us to do that. It's up to you, the parent, to do that.
Wise, Zach. And on that, I'm gonna go have diarrhea. I'll be right
Can I
back.
piss first, please?
Okay, go pee first.
Oh god. Oh god. Would you like?
Pee fast, because this poop's gonna leak out of my butt. All right.
Do you always have diarrhea?
I don't. It's just I cooked a bunch of vegetables and I didn't eat rice with it, and it was spicy vegetables, and so that happens.
You and your
Plus, I drink too much. Oh yeah, that's right. Last night we drank. No wonder.
If I have a hangover, I can't do shit.
Yeah, it's such a waste of a day. Yeah.
So you get water in your system.
Yeah. Before you sleep, drink as much water as you can.
That's something you taught me.
Thanks,
drink
bro.
water after you drink a lot of alcohol.
You guys can ask questions while I
Fucking works well. All right.
Question, what do you read?
Captain Truth says, "Why is Rice Pirate Mick such a bitch?"
That's a
There's
good
a
question.
lot of reasons.
Well,
Let's start from the beginning.
He's worried about his self-image.
I think
One of the reasons is his dick is small, and I think he kind of admits that constantly. Like, every time you're around him, you just get this thing where he's constantly letting you know he has a small dick, and we're all totally fucking alpha males. So I push out my chest, I show him I'm the top gorilla, don't make eye contact with me. One time we did it, we fucking tussled. He got some teeth that came out, he got a black eye, but you know what? He fucking asked for it when he made eye contact.
it's so fucking weird. We were at a diner the other day, and it's like I was like, "Hey, can I have the Western omelet?" And then because the waitress is standing there, and then he was like, "Hey, I got a little dick," and I was like, "Why? Why would you say that?"
No, I was thinking,
It's almost like he's proud of it. I
It's
don't.
an
Yeah.
internal thing I've read.
Yeah, his dick is. You know what I'm saying? Totally internal.
one time we went to a pussy bar. We went to a pussy bar. I got a steak. You know, I'm a fucking beefcake, as they say.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, I'll get a salad." I'm like, hold on. He'll get a steak too. He's like, "No, I want a salad. I'm frail. I'm a little bitch." I'm like, hold on, bro. Listen, pussy babe, get this boy a steak. He's one of me. He's a beefcake with me. And she did it. Of course, he takes one bite and pukes. He's like, I'm one of the weak ones. I can't. All right, whatever. I take him out to the parking lot.
He's speaking that lung now.
I take him out to the parking lot. Oh, please.
Came
Why
from the
do?
side of his face like he fucking had a
Now
stroke.
listen, I kept beating on him. That's why he's got brain damage because of me, because I fucked him up, because he fucking crossed me. He was a fucking pussy in front of my fucking babes, dude. You don't fuck with me in front of my girls, dude. Not when I'm eating fucking steak, dude. You got my steak and my beer, don't fuck with me, dude. You know what I'm fucking talking about?
I don't respect pussies. I don't respect Mick.
Look, I do only one thing to pussies. I beat on him with my dick. Well, unless
I don't
it's,
speak.
You fuck Mick?
well, hold on.
Let me clarify.
Move on.
Can I read a question?
Yeah, sure.
Is this the pen you fucking... Stick to the pocket of the pen.
Zach, you're quick. You're quick. on
Pocket
these.
the pen.
You got a boner, dude.
I got a big old
You
bone.
got a big fat fucking erection. I'm gonna put this in your dick hole.
The key to the boner.
I don't know what the fuck you guys have been reading.
I've just been going all over the place.
These are like actually like things we can cross off.
Love me, love me.
What song's been stuck in my head?
That
You know that song by Toto, Africa? You know that song? Sing it.
Something about the rains down in Africa.
Put the actual beat on.
Then we're gonna go and meet some black guys. I bet Toto's never been to Africa, fucking
He
hypocrite.
was a talker like a fucking pussy. Toto, come to me, you fucking bitch. I'll slap the smile off your face.
You know, star dogs don't live that long because they're like fed the worst diet.
They don't live that long because they're dogs. They don't live that long. They're fed the worst diet.
You guys see
They
that?
probably have a great diet.
Did you see that inbreeding documentary?
By
Yeah.
you? Holy fuck, that was nice, dude. That was fucking nice, dude.
Don't do it.
That was
Don't-
Corey, fucking do it.
Don't.
You got me, that was
Don't
pretty
do it.
fucking nice,
Corey,
dude.
if you high five him,
Corey, come on.
don't do
Dude,
it.
this guy's let a fucking beefcake like us jocks. Corey, what do we always talk about? Corey, what do we always talk about? Corey, what are the 3 P's of life? Pussy, beer, and,
Penis.
pussy, beer, and boobs, dude. Listen, bro, it's an upside down beat.
Are you a fucking nerd?
Pussy,
Eagles are
potatoes, and steak and
Eagles are fucking adorable.
Eagles are inbred to heck.
beans.
That's why their ears are so long.
You're cute.
Most dog breeds are inbred.
Yeah, I know. But the Eagles are really inbred.
Speaking of inbred,
Yeah.
it's made a joke twice. It worked both times.
You look like my uncle with your shirt tucked in like that.
Sorry. God damn my
I want
ass.
to go to a steakhouse.
Go to a steakhouse. I got a big juicy one.
How's your butthole, Mick?
Burns.
Is it one of those shits where you can't sit down now because your asshole is so
I'm
tender?
gonna take a second before I sit.
You have to register it.
Yeah.
Your asshole has to like unpucker,
Yeah.
I'm
deflate.
still confused that humans have to take shit
Yeah.
because they look so elegant, yet they shit.
All animals do.
I
that.
know,
A
but-
deer looks elegant and it
That's
still
true.
spits up fruity pebbles.
Sprays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like, what other animals like don't like? We have cheeks covering our asshole and it looks nicer.
some animals do. Some
Assholes
animals.
always have big glaring pink assholes.
All right, I'm gonna read this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other animal that needs to like spread its cheek. Oh,
Gorillas have ass
baboons.
cheeks.
Baboons have
Yeah,
like
some
big
animals have
bulbous
ass
asses.
cheeks.
Yeah, they just have weird
disgusting,
deflated
though.
socks that the shit.
Yeah, but they have kind of ass cheeks. They don't just have assholes right there.
I'm gonna read this
We should
question.
evolve to poo out of her fingernails.
Corey, go. Ask the question.
Julie05 time colon says, I take it the industry side of creation is more than a little inviting. How do you guys keep embittering, whatever. It's fucking nonsense. How do you guys keep your cynicism from becoming too harsh to remain humorous?
He's basically asking this industry is fucking.
How doesn't it piss you off a lot?
Yeah, how does it keep you from being completely
Was
cynical?
this
and bitter?
question specifically for Jeff, or was
I think
this
it was for all of us. Yeah, you just you have to have a little bit of. Like,
been in the
you have to have a little bit of
bitterness.
honesty and like cynicism.
You can see when it's like when you can see when somebody comes like straight out of college and they're going into business, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. You can kind of read when someone doesn't get it.
I think it's motivating, dude. I think it's so motivating.
But the
See
question
what's
is, how do you
up
keep from becoming so bitter?
by being motivated?
But
by
that's
it.
another thing that's interesting.
Yeah, if you're gonna be cynical and you're gonna be bitter, like how did that show get on television? Rather than
know what it
harboring
is?
the bitterness, fucking turn it into positivity and be like, dude, I could do better than that, and then focus on that.
And then do it.
Yeah.
All adult bitterness is to me is like a baby pouting.
Yeah.
That's all it's just pouting. It's adult, mature, acceptable pouting for some reason. It's
You
like
question it at first, and then you're like, oh, I know why that is.
fuck that. I don't like that.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
pouting. It's
Oh, you mean like how
Yeah.
you sit around on the couch and hate on Seth MacFarlane all day?
That's not bitter. That's reasonable. Like dislike. I mean, there's plenty of things that like.
Stamper smile. He's like, I got you.
No, but it is warranted sometimes. Like biatches.
No, that's not the question though. The question is how do you keep from becoming bitter, not what warrants being bitter.
No, but it's like you see.
Like what?
Yeah, but all I was saying was sometimes it does warrant it, but
I never said it didn't. The question said it warranted it. I'm saying how do you keep from becoming over? How do you keep from tipping and teetering over?
Mick's right. That's the only way I can see it. Like motivate yourself by it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think if you can notice the bad things that like in media and entertainment that you don't like, or the things that you don't like, you can take that and go, okay, I'm not going to do that.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
if you take the second part out of that equation, you just go, this sucks. It's a spiral. It's a landslide, and it's like noticing everything bad about everything. Anybody can notice bad stuff. Anybody can do
That's
that.
why movies bomb in the theater.
Yeah, anybody
if
can
you're
do that.
creative or not.
Yeah, and that's why anytime like Chris or something, because Chris, you're very critical about things.
Yeah.
But that's always my favorite question. No, but my
What was my
favorite.
last critical stance?
You were talking about how modern orchestral music all sounds the same.
Because you asked me.
Yeah, well, whatever. Whether I ask it or not, but what I
I
like.
didn't say that either. I said I didn't like Hans Zimmer.
Right, but what I like about it is that I can ask what it is that you don't like, and then I can also ask, well, what would need to change, and what needs to be, what would make it better, and you're chock full of.
It's the second part. If you don't have what can make it better, this is bad because of this, then you're just bitter.
Right.
By the way, point out the reason this movie sucks because anybody can do that.
Right.
But not a lot of people could go, I didn't like this, but here's the reason. Here's what could have made it better. Here's what could have made it interesting.
I could have seen where I saw where
Yeah.
they were going with it, or I know why they made that executive
exactly.
choice, but they should.
Exactly. So it's like when I look at a show like Family Guy or like Stamper Bottom, Seth MacFarlane, I don't go, this show sucks because of this and this. I go, I don't like how they did this and this, and here's what I would have done to make it better, or here's what they were trying to do, or here's what they could have done to make it better.
That's every online reviewer now. It's like, this sucks. It's like, you do
this
better, and then they don't. They just make horrible
this sucks. And okay, so
Yeah.
what? What are you gonna do?
And I
about
don't
it?
even have to, like a lot of comments are like, well, this sucks, and then the response is, oh, well, you try to do better. I don't even think people need to do better so much as they just point it out.
Yeah, say what you could do better.
Be nice about it. So say if I see something's bad, right, and if I go and I try and do it and I can't do it, then I respect it more. And like, okay,
Exactly.
It's easy. Like I said, I'll stop. I don't want to get redundant, but
there's a lot
it
of
takes
things.
it takes zero effort, it takes zero skill, it takes zero talent to be a critic.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of skill to be a critic and then apply that knowledge to making something better.
And also, if you see a movie and like one little thing pisses you off and it ruins the movie for you, like it happens to me sometimes where like one little thing will make me go, that was otherwise perfect. Why is that thing there? Like there's so many people working on a movie. Of course, there's going to be little.
I think also it's also important to realize my general rule is like if nothing's perfect, I can't name one movie that I think is perfect. I can't name one song that I think is perfect. I can't name anything I think is 100% perfect. So I think there's also a level where it's like if you just enjoyed it and you notice flaws, then
For me,
it's fine.
I don't want to talk about
For
too
me,
many
it's
topical
different.
things. I just want to know
For
real
me-
quick, what was one thing that you liked about Frozen?
I thought it was very well.
Do you really?
I love Frozen.
I thought it was visually very well done.
Okay.
But,
Cool. Okay. That's all I didn't want to go into.
Can I? I know. I just
fucking
can I say
laundry
this?
list of things I have wrong
Can I-
about
can I
Frozen,
just-
if you
can I-
want to hear that.
You are a grown man reviewing a movie for children. For
Hey,
children.
Adults.
I just want to close my point
example of
with one thing.
cynicism.
That's not cynicism.
If you can just point at it and be like, that's a little girl's movie.
You went to fucking Frozen, you came back and you were like, well, let me give you my honest opinion about a fucking movie
About
for girls.
an
award-winning animated fucking movie that gets 65 million views and sells fucking millions of toys every 5 minutes, shut your fucking mouth! To girls! No! You saw the trailer! Fucking world! The trailer just for girls, motherfucker! Shut your mouth! Fuck you! The trailer is exactly like the movie. You saw the trailer, you went to the movie,
tell you something.
and you were disappointed.
Let me fucking tell you
Really?
something. An animated Oscar award-winning fucking movie
For children! For
Let me
girls!
fucking tell you something. Did you like Tangled?
Yeah, I loved it.
You like Tangled?
Yeah. But I knew what I was getting into. I was watching a movie with
Let
my
me tell you
fucking
something.
nieces.
If you saw Tangled, I like Tangled, and then I saw fucking Frozen, and I saw Tangled as an award-winning movie, and then I saw fucking Frozen.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. If I didn't like Tangled, I wouldn't sit at home fucking writing blog after blog, hating on it for years.
I don't
because
care.
it's a fucking movie for girls.
I'm telling you.
I happen to like Tangled.
I don't think anyone has ever asked the
your
question,
retort-
do you like Tangled with that much rage?
Do you like Tangled?
Tangled is a good movie.
If it's a movie for girls, then fuck you in capital letters.
It is a movie for fucking children. If
You can still break a fucking movie down, asshole.
I just told you why. If I didn't like Tangled, then I wouldn't go home and obsess over it for a fucking year.
You know why I'm fucking tired of Frozen? Because the fucking sequel's coming out and it's getting the same hype.
All right.
I'm tired of fucking
Okay,
seeing it.
okay, we're done with this one. All right.
Can I
In your
say,
fucking story. That's a prime example of
intervention.
cynicism. It's the first fucking thing you say.
That's not cynicism at all.
You're just immediately like, oh, it's a fucking little girls movie.
Cynicism is up.
I'm
Fuck Frozen.
critically
Here's what's
looking at
wrong
a
with
fucking
it.
movie, okay? The first 10 minutes of Tangled explains the fucking plot. Frozen does no such thing. The fucking next 45 minutes is a bunch of songs with this cookie cutter dumb bitch who wants to fall in love with an evil prince, ruined it for you, and a fucking worthless character snowman that was just put in there.
don't talk bad about Olaf. Don't diss Olaf.
Many fucking plot holes throughout this movie.
And the
that you don't have to be a little girl to fucking understand
The
You can have no fucking brain
Listen,
cells.
Corey,
You can still see
the
it.
real
Of course there's plot holes in it, man. Look at what it is. You can't be critical about it.
problem.
Okay, can I
This
intervene?
is an award
Can I intervene?
Corey,
Oscar-winning animated thing that has done things that's never been
Can I
seen
intervene?
before.
Can I intervene and pick?
That's my fucking point.
Can I
What,
pick
the music?
Can I pick a middle ground here that's not too contrived? Two things. Nobody scream over me, please.
No, I'm not.
It was written by adults. That's adults doing bad writing. So that's that. They're up there to criticism. But also, I do agree with you in the sense where it's like, if I watch like Blue's Clues, I'm not gonna be like, this writing's awful. But I do think there's a middle ground where you walk into it and you go, okay, you lower your
No,
bar
that's
a lot.
here's the thing. If
Yeah.
Frozen wasn't this fucking critically acclaimed, like this movie, this inspires so many things. It's such a creation.
Because I agree with you. I can watch like the old Disney movies that were aimed towards kids. I
This
can still
movie
enjoy
that
them.
came out
Dude,
in
Lion
fucking
King
like
to me is-
six.
I can still watch Lion King,
Way
Hercules, or
Zach,
fucking Hunchback. And
Zach, this movie that came out in September, it won a fucking Oscar like 4 months later. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
So Corey,
Are you kidding me?
when Frozen 2 comes out,
I'm not gonna watch it.
Are we
You
all
know what
going
I'm gonna
together?
do? No, I hate Frozen. You're
totally gonna watch it.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Not?
No, and if another Seth MacFarlane movie comes out, guess what I'm not gonna watch?
you're not going to watch 101 Ways to Die in the
Absolutely
West?
not. I'm not watching. Once I see a movie that fucking sucks like that,
3?
and it generally upsets me that so many people defend it, I'm not gonna see it again.
Can I just say that Frozen is a neat little adventure, and that's
Okay,
all I see it
okay.
as?
That's
all I
no,
see.
it's
What
fine.
was the
It's fine.
question even? Why
It's
are we
fine
talking
if you
about
like
Frozen?
it.
Yeah, sorry,
It's
I brought
fine.
it.
But
I'm
it's
talking
like you did.
about. It was my fault. I'm
It
so
was the
sorry.
question asker's fault. Wait, go on.
Yeah.
But cynicism? No, I was.
point is-
cynicism.
Can I please wrap this point up? And I'm not going to say anything for the
Okay,
rest of the question.
fine.
I think, like I said, anybody can point out flaws, and I think the point is this: this is entertainment. If you could watch a movie and you notice flaws, anybody can. If you notice flaws, but you still enjoyed it, pointing out the flaws when you otherwise enjoyed it is probably a little bit cynical. But if the flaws are what kept you from enjoying it, then pointing them out is very reasonable. But I can watch Breaking Bad or a really good show or a really good movie and notice flaws. But pointing those out might be nitpicking. I think that is the point. If you watch Back to the Future and go, no, this was this and this and this, it's like, yeah, of course there's flaws. That's nitpicking, that's cynical, I think.
Yeah.
If you take that and you improve it, if you those flaws prevented you from enjoying it, then it's very reasonable to bring
I
those
went
up.
into the
That's
movie.
all I want to say.
I went in and I had high hopes. I didn't come in and I didn't have my fucking notebook ready. I wasn't a judge at a fucking, I don't know, American Idol thing, and I wasn't ready to write down my fucking long, I don't know, excerpt on why this movie fucking sucks. I went in Because guess what? I like Disney, and I used to think that Disney had like they made movies for people. Tangled, I feel like you can watch even if it's made for kids. I still feel like it's a movie you could watch with adults, and I still feel like we live in a time where even if it's made for kids, you should still understand that adults.
My
watch
only
movies.
point is like, let's say you like action movies.
Okay.
You can't go to a Fast and the Furious movie, come home and rip it apart and say there's too many fucking races and cars in it. It doesn't make any sense.
But that's not what I'm. That's not what I'm mad.
That's
I'm mad. The movie sucks. It's bad writing.
He's not mad that it's a little girl's movie. He's mad
I'm not mad that it's a fucking movie about
That's what I'm
cars.
saying, but
I'm mad that it's a movie that
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, but you can't. It's like, oh, you knew what you were getting into.
I didn't though.
Well, it was always on the table. It could have been that
What
way.
the fuck are you talking about? If you never watch this fucking like
I'm talking about the
Furious
people-
movie, then how the fuck can you make an opinion about it?
No, I'm saying when people come back and they know what they were getting into, and then
I
they come
didn't know
back-
what I was getting into. I thought I was going to get into.
You didn't know you were going into a fucking musical movie.
I thought I was going to go into a movie that had a good plot, interesting
What you
characters,
said earlier was
and it
true,
was
though.
written
Tangled
well.
is the same idea, but it was good.
Exactly. I still think Tangled is better than Frozen.
Tangled's really good.
Tangled's 100 times better. If you want a fucking good movie to watch, it should have been.
I like Tangled a lot. We can end it on that. Also, a side note, what was kind of fun was that the character design for the girl in Tangled, I believe, was recycled in Frozen. Yeah, like literally they just
That's
took
why
the
it's
same
Tangled
character
too.
model and then added
And
new
Big
hair.
Hero 6, they
Yeah,
used that
Big
girl.
Hero 6.
Oh,
the
did they
fucking
really?
launching.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Can we
What's the next
circle
question,
back?
Corey?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, should it be Stamper now? Should
Stamper.
Yeah, Stamper.
That one 420 says,
Nice name, by the way. I smoke weed too, bro. I fucking get high, dude. I know what you're talking about with the 420 stuff. We'll get to that later.
Can we talk about that?
doobies.
Can we
Hold
talk
up,
about
smoking
that?
weed, dude.
I
I'm
had-
talking about
I had
smoking
no
weed,
idea
dude.
what
Hold up,
420 meant.
smoking weed, bro.
Smoking weed,
I still don't know what
3, 2, 1,
420 really
smoking weed, dude. That's
weed.
right.
3, 2, 1. Smoking weed, dude.
3, 2, 1. Smoking.
Yeah, for me, it was like, it wasn't 420. The day where everyone smoked weed was 311 because I was really into
yeah.
311, and you know, 311 is high
band, yeah.
music.
Was it the time that you smoked weed too?
Yeah, everyone
Type of
smoked
day?
weed. The day, like,
Isn't it like 420 at 420, or is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just
Yeah, it
used
is.
to
It's
smoke
420.
weed?
Yeah.
Fucking smoke that weed, Corey. You fucking light that joint up and get
Is
high.
420 only 420 p.m.?
No, it's the April 20th.
Yeah, but you smoke
That's
at 420 as well.
that's National Marijuana Day, though.
if you
right?
told somebody
Yeah, it is.
who was like getting high at 420, you'd be like, dude, you're actually supposed to get high at 4:20 a.m. His fucking brain would have been like,
I bet hardcore smokers, I bet they go at 4:20 a.m. and
4:20.
p.m.
Yeah.
it's like, you know, if you fly around the world just before where the sun meets the end of the earth and you smoke, you could be smoking at a.m.
If you're,
and p.m.
if you're in Australia, you can
fucking
get high.
flow
You
is
can go
low.
back to the U.S. You can have two.
You can also smoke anytime you want.
Yeah, that too.
You have to fly to the Arctic.
Here's the thing, though. When you're high, you like overanalyze things sometimes. So it's like to you, you'd be like, "Holy fucking shit, dude! You should write a novel or something."
I guarantee there's someone with a private jet.
Dumbest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, there was someone on a private jet who was flying through all the time zones on their private jet smoking weed every time they were just like, I'm still in 420. All right, what's the question?
Oh, he says the number one idol you'd want to meet in your lifespan. I guess that goes for entertainers or.
Live or dead or...
No, live. Like so somebody you could actually meet, maybe like at a party or
I'm
something.
not the kind of person that gets like autographs from people or
I'm
wants
not
to
a
meet
picture
people.
autograph.
They get 'em from me.
What would be one guy that you make like, holy fuck, I met this guy that I look up to a lot.
There's two.
I don't know, because I always kind of like to leave things as they are, and I feel like if I do meet people, like maybe it kind of sully your
something?
opinion of them, because they're just people.
What if you didn't
when I
get a
wanna-
real autograph from him, it was silently in your soul you were kind of excited to meet this person?
Well, because here's the thing, it's like when you meet somebody, you want to talk to them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you meet like one of your idols, it's like you're not going to really have much to talk about.
Besides, I like you.
Like, you'll just be like, dude, great work.
Yeah.
But
Remember that thing you did? Remember that cartoon you made?
I think
It's like, yeah,
I
maybe.
think the only way to go with it is,
Exactly.
is to pretend who they like, to kind of know who they are, like under pretend how much you know about them.
You'd be like, hey man,
Just
what's
like,
up?
oh yeah, I think I saw the thing you did. Yeah, cool. I think that's the only way to be cool.
Yeah, the truth is you've watched their biography.
Oh god, you're
you've
obsessed.
read
You're a
their
fucking
Wikipedia
maniac.
page.
You have a shrine in your closet. Yeah.
I'm assuming you have one. Is it like
Me?
Is it like DeGrasse or something?
Me?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is DeGrasse?
Neil
that's
deGrasse
like-
Tyson.
Yeah, he'd be interesting in me. I wouldn't mind meeting him.
Yeah, I also everyone would associate myself with niggers, so.
For the record, that was not me.
I would love
That
to
was
meet,
Corey.
I would love to meet Trey Parker and Matt Stone. You know, as far as people
I was
that
thinking that, but it's like they'd be
they
weird.
probably just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, no. I mean, I just as far as people to meet.
No, I think so. I think them. Larry David's a new one. Honestly, but I feel like he's so
Larry
rich.
David could be cool.
He's so rich and so I think we're in totally different worlds. I don't know if we have anything to talk about. You know what I mean?
I want to meet Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey's cool.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, he was like a huge influence growing
What
up.
did you walk up? He's like, "You're such a piece of shit, Corey. Fuck you," and you just walked away.
be really
How bad would you feel about
And
yourself?
then you go on Twitter and be like, Jim Carrey just called me an asshole and said all these mean things. Everyone would be like, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
You know,
What
we
if you
can
walk
feel
up-
my
what if you
fucking
walk up-
pain.
That's the ultimate insult too. It's like,
He walks up,
nobody
he walks up to me,
believes
he's like, "I know who you are, Corey. I'm gonna fucking kill you, you little bitch. No one's gonna believe you, you fucking faggot." And he walks away.
What if it was the opposite? What if
I
you
could
met Jim
kill him
Carrey
right now.
and he started like stroking your back and he asked you to come back with him into the bathroom? He wanted to show you something.
Would you do it,
and then he
Corey?
started kind of just feeling your zipper up and down, and then you told everybody the story about how Jim
I was
Carrey
almost molested
molested
by
you,
Jim Carrey.
and then you tried to tell people on Twitter, and then again nobody believed you.
In the
you
bathroom, he just points inside a toilet bowl and is like, look how much shit that guy had.
Isn't that gross?
And you're just sitting there like, yeah.
He's like, "That was my shit, dude." What do you think of it?
I'd be like, wow, you're a fucking weirdo. I'm gonna leave.
Have you seen
I'd be
Jim
like
Carrey's
that,
Twitter
and then
before?
and people are like, "Man, I'm a big fan of Jim Carrey." You watch a Jim Carrey movie, you're like, "Man, he was like really excited about seeing like his poop in a bowl." And
You know,
like,
I bet that
something
happens more
everyone
often than
remembers.
not. That there's some like eccentric, awesome celebrity that creates awesome shit, but they're like the weirdest fucking people, and
Yeah.
you're so excited to meet them. But if you did, they would be like so
Oh.
weird.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice?
Yeah, like a fucking real person, dude.
Watch, check this out.
Character.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he's not here.
No, you would say three. Oh, there he is.
Get out of here, Beetlejuice.
Nice, dude.
Fuck, that was my only chance to meet him.
What the fuck you are? You're up, dude. He's gone.
You
No,
ruined it.
Beetlejuice is out of here.
He'll never come back, too.
God damn it. Okay, well, it's not him.
Chris wants to meet Hans Zimmer. Moving on.
Do not. I want to meet
so you
Stefan's
can
dad.
beat him up.
I want to meet your dad and have a drink with him and make friends with him and then tell him how gay you are. Okay.
You could be Stamper's stepdad.
You think we're gonna shoot you?
Go to your room, Stamper.
Wait,
I'm not going to my room. I'm old.
Come on, Stamper. Go to your room, little bitch. You're grounded.
All right, let's see here. Turkey Gobbler says, you are now president. First order of business.
Corey.
With me?
Eradicate the.
Oh, I have to eradicate people?
Yeah, no.
immediately?
No,
That's what
no.
it said. Yeah, go on.
Corey, what's your first action as president?
Okay, I get
Corey, let's-
like Chris said, I get like a big like spinny dial thing, and I throw a target, and whatever color it lands on, that's the people who are eradicated.
Wow.
Who would you have?
What are the
Wow.
colors for what race? Please. What colors?
He's like, white isn't on the wheel, just saying.
White is the arrow.
Even though I was printing out a poster with lots of negative spaces, more often than not, he's gonna.
Yeah, if he threw it on the outside,
I
he misses the
have-
circle completely.
I have like white and yellow and all shades of brown.
All shades of
It's like, how would you know?
What if it lands between
eight shades
brown
of
and
brown.
black?
Orange and red and green, in case there's some green people in the future. Purple, yellow, green again.
You hate those greens, man. What the fuck do they do?
Corey, you looking fine.
Zach.
But realistically, I would throw a dart, and then whatever it land on, I would also throw another dart to see on whatever.
Corey, the president doesn't throw darts. That's the worst president ever. Oh, maybe he does.
Yeah, he's like, I have really tough decisions. Throws a dart. He has like all his papers up, and he'd be like,
I know what I
Corey
would
be
do.
like, I promise to
Demolish
throw darts
taxes,
every day
okay.
at paper
I know what I
Obama's
would
like, boom.
of my enemies.
do. You know what I do?
What'd you do,
And then,
Zach?
no, and then you also have like a few things. Like you have like binge watch Friends and like all these other like stupid things. So you throw it, and you're like, today I'm watching Friends.
There you go.
As president, I would run this country into the ground in 3 hours.
How would your first policy be?
I don't know. I'd just panic and shit my pants, and then someone would nuke us, and I wouldn't.
What if you tried to nuke them first?
Oh yeah. I'd probably do something really stupid like that.
You get
Nuke
drunk and you'd be
everybody.
like, there's no way.
I'd be like, dude, I am so tired of the Middle East, and I would just do something really
Put a
drastic.
fucking Walmart over it now.
Let's get like a big Walmart and just
Just
put
put it over there. Why hasn't it done this before? It's a really good idea.
like an ultra Walmart.
They go out there trying to build it, and these fucking people keep attacking them and like fucking beheading them while they're trying to build the Walmart.
That would happen.
I know what I do, Corey.
They're slashing prices, you know.
I'd legalize weed and fucking pussy at the same time.
420!
Hey guys, 3, 2, 1, smoke weed. Okay, 3, 2, 1, smoke weed. 3, 2, 1, okay, smoke weed. Okay, 3, 2, 1, okay, smoke weed. Okay, 3, 2, 1, okay, smoke weed. Get high, bitches. Smoke it. Oh, excuse me.
I actually can't smoke weed. It makes me fucking
What's
sick.
that?
Smoke it.
So hold on, no talk. Say that again.
Smoke it.
You think you're funny? You think you're funny, little bitch?
Smoke it. Check
Look,
this out.
everyone close out the window right now. Don't
Check
listen
this
to this
out.
podcast. I'm sorry he ruined it.
Oh yeah.
Tristan's smoking cigarettes right now.
Hold on, yeah, hold on.
What was that weed, dude?
If even when weed goes to my brain, my eyes will fall out. Okay, Chris, what would you
He's smoking weed.
Yeah, stop injecting.
Sorry. As president, I hereby declare I will build a giant steel cube at the center of New York City. And in,
do what? What would it do?
48,000 years, we will open it, and I will reveal the plan for the future.
And it's just a drawing of a dick.
Smiley face.
Just like, you've been waiting that long.
At the very center, they will have to actually dig into the steel for,
It's just
for
like
many years.
It's just like a picture of like how you draw girls with like these deformed hands.
At the center of the cube, you will find a small mummified girl dressed in Snow White.
Have you seen that picture before, Corey?
You have these like theorists who've been like in caves for years, like trying to figure out what was in the cube the whole time. And so you have like
Dude,
this huge.
The cube is also full of traps.
I would do that too. I'd build like a huge pyramid and have a little piece of paper at the middle that says LOL.
I don't like mine anymore. Mine wasn't very creative.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I do. If I
President can't build a cube in the center of New York.
Yeah, there's no.
He's the president. He can do it.
You know what? Okay, I do actually know what I would do, and this is probably the most boring answer. So one of the biggest problems is that a lot of people that work for the government, they're supposed to be kind of servants of the state, of the people,
Yeah.
and it's become this whole opposite thing where they are now at the top of the pyramid, and they have their
Instead of
jobs have like
servants.
tenure where they like stay, they can continue to have these jobs. So the one thing I would say is all people who work in the government have a limited run at their jobs. The other thing is I get rid of all of the golden parachutes. So all the rules that they set for everybody else as far as healthcare, as far as retirement, as far as all these fucking things are the exact same rules that them and their families are going to have to deal with when they get out of office.
Oh, so they don't get permanent health.
They don't get permanent health care. They don't get any of this shit. So when they make rules,
They have
they're
to
making
abide by
them with the idea that they're going to be out of a job in a few years, and they're going to have to join the normal workforce, and they're going to have to follow the same fucking rules that they are setting for the rest of us.
Why would I
That's what
follow a president that makes a bunch of fart joke cartoons? Next.
Why would we have a Chinese
Nick,
party
you're the
president?
president. You can create like the first ever dinosaur again, and you just want to do good things.
Yeah.
Finally.
Well, hold on. To be fair,
guys are mixing president up
second
with
thing on the
God.
list is build Jurassic Park. That's my second.
Nick, I gotta say, you were president, Joe. I vote for you.
Oh,
Build
God.
Jurassic Park.
I think I legally
regret it.
because my.
If you
I'm
vote
not,
for
like-
me,
Are you a U.S. citizen? Were you born here?
Actually, I think I was born here.
You can run for
I think I was conceived in Asia but born here.
Yeah, you're a U.S. citizen.
You're good.
Your parents fucked it. Yeah, your dad came and your mom.
You know what? And Chinese takeout would be the national food. Y'all shut up.
It already fucking is, more or less. Ask a little question.
ask a little question.
wait,
give
hold
a
on.
little answer.
Specs97 asks, what would your own personal hell be?
Oh, personal hell?
Like, what would
I know
you-
what mine would be.
What's that?
Fucking constant, repetitive noise forever.
Can I,
It would drive me crazy after 2 minutes.
I've always had a really interesting idea for hell. I think it's interesting. It would be just like this, because I think the idea of like you, if you burned, if you
He's sitting here recording.
no, because if you burned in brimstone forever, you get used to it. But if it was exactly like Earth, except for there was like 10% more slightly annoying stuff.
Yep.
Like you would hit your foot on like a door like a little bit more often. Things like that where it's like life is slightly more annoying, but every time you start to adjust back,
Right.
it would happen again.
That's exactly what I was gonna.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
that
no,
would be hell.
because
That sounds like an annoyance.
well, no, because hell would
Every
always,
day, though.
the true hell. Like if you were in a dire situation for the rest of your life, like boiling in hot oil or whatever the fuck it was, you get used to it. So
Yeah.
the true hell is a hell full of hope.
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
believe that there's a way to escape it, or that you have, So
It's called current life.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say where
How
hell
do we
is.
know we're not already dead?
You're like working on projects, but like you're never reaching your deadlines, or like you're working on projects and you're almost done, and then your file crashes and it's corrupted,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
open
yeah.
it. It's like that
So
is
life is
actually
like
kind of what
life is like that happens like 10% more often. We're like no, and the second you start adjusting back to stuff, it's like it happens
Mine.
again.
Every time you want to reach something that would actually give you like something positive, it's always negative.
I guess the true hell though would be that you would, and I think,
Or it's good sometimes, so it fools you. Like
Right. Well, I was gonna say that it would almost be like you went to hell and you were tortured, but then you had no memory. So like you were constantly, it was always the first time, and it was always
You ever
fresh.
see episode of Twilight Zone where I don't want to spoil it, but
wait, before we say that, that's technically like what it says in like.
Oh, does it?
Like
You
it
have
actually
no
says that when you go to hell and you burn forever, your flesh is reborn again with all senses, so you feel it over and over and over. So technically. technically, hell is hell.
There's an episode of Twilight Zone where the robber, like the thief, gets shot by police and he wakes up and he thinks he's in heaven. He asks the guy, the angel or whatever.
Very end, it turns out heaven was in him.
No, because he's like, he's like a criminal. He's like, I want a gambling place. I want to always win. I want women. I want money.
Yeah.
And he gets all of it, and he gets sick of it after a while. He's like, no, I want to lose.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I want to go to the other place. And the guy's like, you are the other place.
Right.
He's in hell all along.
You know, that reminds me a lot of
everything he wants.
the one
Spoilers.
with the German colonel.
I love that. It's God. What is it called? It's like in season 1. It's the U-boat episode.
Yeah, and that one seemed like because he was. I guess he was.
He keeps reliving it forever and
Yeah,
ever.
but he was aware when he woke up a little bit.
No, but he always starts off at that part.
Yeah.
Always with that exact same amount of type in Twilight Zone. This is to the audience. Type in Twilight Zone U-boat, German U-boat.
Yeah.
I guess that's not
No, I think that would show, that would come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a great episode. What was great about it though was that it wasn't just that he was suffering for what he did, is that they put him in the seat of the other people. So he met the other people.
Yeah.
So there was like a sense of compassion and empathy that he would have never had being on a submarine launching missiles because he'd never met these people.
Yeah, that's a great episode.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Out of those little daily annoyances, what do you think annoys you guys most?
You.
Fucking... I hate getting snagged on shit. Like, I'll be walking out of the bathroom, my belt will get snagged on the door handle.
The only I don't ever really get like furious that off. I would say like honestly like once every like 3 years I get furious. It's frustrating things that you're trying to do on your own but you keep fucking up at. Like one time I was trying to put the bedsheet over my bed and I get like 3 corners on it and I was going to get the fourth one and the other 3 corners to come off. And I did it for like 10 minutes and I was like, guys! I snapped because I was getting so
Way to
fucking-
sheet your bed, dumbass.
I couldn't do it. It was pissing me off. So things like that really annoy me.
Let me tell you something.
Shit where you can't get it right.
My own personal hell is taking off a lady's pants. Guess what? It's blank. No pussy. A world without pussy.
Oh, wow.
Right here.
She
A
can still
world
blow
without
you, though.
pussy and weed.
I can still blow you though.
Oh yeah.
Sam, that's dumb. She has a butt.
She has no butt.
No
She
butt.
has no butt?
No butt crack. It's just flat.
That's
No
dumb.
titties.
It's like a canvas. It's like a Barbie doll.
That's
And
terrible.
you're like, what's happening? What? No!
That's
She's like, welcome to hell.
that fucking sucks.
And that's the only thing different.
I'd be
And
like,
then she smacks your boner as hard as she
I
can,
would
like a
tell
little
her-
springboard. She's
I
like,
would still be like, I'm gonna have to work with this. Put your like non-cracked Barbie ass on my face and fucking suffocate me so the next morning I'll wake up and experience the same thing again.
You'll just be beaten off in the shower every night crying.
But then, but then I would get used to it because then now
but then your
like
dick hole's plugged.
I would forget.
Oh yeah, there's no dick hole. It's
I
just
would forget what a butthole looked like because like technically I wouldn't have one either because in this world nobody has a butthole.
Yeah. What would you do?
I would get used to Barbie doll ass.
You want to do the next question?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Chris. Next question,
Okay. From Potato Guy 21, what is the scariest thing any of us have ever experienced? Whew. That's a doozy.
Yeah.
That was a doozy. I almost got hit by a car a couple days ago.
That's not the scariest thing you ever experienced.
It's kind of related though.
You got chased by a lake pedophile.
Oh, that's it. Did I ever tell the story on the podcast?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think I did.
What happened?
You got chased by a lake
Yeah.
pedophile?
Okay, so
Seaweed
Chris
man.
has this amazing talent where he takes stories and summarizes them in a way that makes no sense.
Like you being chased down the stairs by a ghost
I
chair?
don't know. I'm sorry. If I yeah exactly.
Sorry!
I love that. The imagery is
It's
like
way cooler than your boring story.
No,
Fucking
when
hearing a chair squeak and you screaming running outside.
I was like, oh, whatever with your Irish stories.
I've never told an Irish story.
All you tell is Irish stories.
Bullshit.
No, I don't know if I told this, you could just cut it out or whatever. But yeah, when I was like 12 or 13, I had a friend called Seth. And Seth and I, we had an apartment complex where we had a lake in the center of the apartment complex. What?
I was going to say that too, but I
Say
chose
what?
not to be an idiot, Corey.
Say Corey. Go on, own up, Harlan. Ah, good one. Good one, Corey.
Giggly over there.
Quit picking on me!
Seth MacFarlane, he was the one that was driving the boat. He was like, I drew a really funny character.
You're talking about-
I was 12.
This is the scariest story ever.
Zach, start your goddamn story again.
It's not a really scary story, but it's pretty fucked up.
That's pretty
Okay.
scary.
Yeah, it's one of those real kind of scary stories where it really
Yeah.
happened. I was like 12, I was with my friend Seth, and we had this apartment complex that had a lake in the middle of it. Or like a pond. It was like a pond or like whatever. They kind of, the apartment complex wrapped around it. Then we went in the lake one time because it was like the summertime. We were just fucking around going in this lake.
Yeah.
And there was like this tall grass, or this tall, not bamboo, but it was what are those things called?
Reeds or
Yeah. Those. It was in the shallow parts of it, and we were kind of in the middle of this place. And this old guy with the big fucking scary Rottweiler walked up, and he was like, "Hey kids, what are you doing in there?" We're like, "Just hanging out." He was like, "Yeah, but you get out of there. Come to my place. You can dry off." We're like, "No, dude." And he was like, "No, come on over." We're like, "No." He was like, "No, come on out. You guys are gonna catch a cold in there. Come on out." And we made up some lie about that we threw a baseball in the lake and we were trying to find it, which wasn't true. We said it was a valuable baseball. And this guy, we tried to like swim, we tried to like kind of go low and go behind the tall grass inside the lake, and he kind of walked around and kind of prevented us from getting out. And we were like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What are we gonna do, man?" Because he just wouldn't leave us alone. We were like, "We're fine, man, leave us alone." He's like, "No, come out." He got more and more persistent.
Yeah.
And we were there for 45 minutes. Eventually, we got some plan where one of us was going to run out and escape and get the help.
Yeah.
But luckily, one of our other friends, the third friend, who was much older, came over and was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And that scared the guy. Immediately just walked up and got scared.
See, that's the creepiest part about it.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as like another person came, because then you know his intentions were weird. If he was just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
He wasn't a nice old man. He was like about 50 years old.
Another thing creepy about that is if that guy hadn't showed up, they probably would have been like raped and dead by now.
Yeah.
Good old Jack.
dog.
Yeah. No, he had a powerful dog that I don't know if it was trained or whatever, but it was definitely a deterrent to us to get out of the water. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could talk. But so that was the scary story, and I'm sure it happened so long ago. I don't have any details, but that was the gist of it.
My story, I mean, it's from my childhood. I actually, a lot scarier things have happened, but I think because I was older, I was able to kind of navigate them with a little bit more
Caution?
Yeah, caution and a little bit more confidence that I'd be able to deal with the situation. But the one that I remember that kind of left like a mark was also when I was a kid. I'm assuming a lot of these happened when you were a kid.
You got fucked.
Yeah.
You got fucked, dude.
I did, by an old man with a Rottweiler. You know, like,
Wait, hold on. You were sad.
I was sad. No, what happened was I was with my friends, Nate and then his sister Erin. She's a little bit older than us, and then Nate was my age. And we were about 7 years old, and we had a sleepover, and all three of us were at the house. At one point, I forgot who mentioned it. It was nighttime, and I was in a Chinese household, so rules were a little bit lax. It wasn't like it was like, "Hey, go to bed," like they were just kind of like, whatever. Anyways, so I don't know who like dared the other. I don't exactly remember how it happened, but we decided that we were going to go out to the bent tree. And the bent tree is this tree that is near my friend Nate's place. And during this period of time when we were in this neighborhood, a lot of the neighborhood wasn't developed. It was in Washington, so it was just a lot of woods, a very lumber town.
Yeah.
And so there was just woods everywhere, thus Woodinville. And there was this bent tree, which was by his house, and it was kind of like a landmark. We'd meet at the bent tree, we'd hang out there. One time Nate was up in the tree and tried to poop on me from the tree, and then wiped his butt with stinging nettle leaf, and then, there was some fun stories about the bent tree too. But, so we went out, it was late at night, and we dared each other to go into the woods. So we went out into the woods, and it was just three of us, but I remember we heard a sound, like we were like kind of going, we were scared, but you're confident because you were with your friends.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we heard a sound behind us, and we weren't quite sure, so we stopped, and there was nothing. And then we kept going, and it was fine. And we went deeper and deeper into the woods, and then all of a sudden we definitely heard a sound. Then we stopped, and you could just hear like a foot going through ferns, because it was woods, you know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of trees, there were ferns
leaves
everywhere,
leaves
so you could hear it. It wasn't like crunching dry leaves. It was like you could hear like the brush of ferns.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were like, then I just remember looking at them, and it was so dark, and there was a little bit of moonlight coming down through the trees, but you could kind of see each other's faces a little bit. But what you could really see was like the glint of light in the reflection of people's eyes. So we're looking at each other in the dark. Our eyes are a little bit acclimated. And I remember all three of us just looking at each other like, what do we do? So then we waited, and we kept hearing it, and it was getting closer and closer. So we all fucking hit the deck, and it was kind of like a dirt path that ran right up the middle of the woods. And when I say a path, I mean it's like a foot wide. I mean, it wasn't really a path.
It was like a bike path or a jog.
It was either a bike or like, water was running down it or something, because it was right in the middle of the thing. So we're both on both sides of the ferns, and we're lying down. I was with Nate, and Erin was on the other side, and we just laid there for a while, and we could hear the sound, right? Just like this coming closer and closer. And then it stopped for a little bit, and then we weren't sure what to do, like whether or not we should get up finally we heard it getting closer and closer and closer. And this is in the middle of the night. In the middle of
What
the
time would
woods.
you say? What
There's
time would
nothing
you say?
fucking here. It was maybe 10 o'clock. It wasn't like 3 in the morning.
But it was too late for somebody to be.
Yeah, it was way too late for anyone to be out there, and why would they even be there? And I'll get to the other question too, the thing that freaked me out when I was older. But anyways, so we're lying there, and I remember staring right at Erin's, like I could just see the glint in her eyes through the ferns, right? And all of a sudden, a boot just went right in front of my fucking face, and then kept going. And I just remember seeing her eyes, like in that moment. And I'm sure I look the exact same way, but like that will never leave my mind. Just like staring at her, and we waited and we waited, and we just like locked eyes as long as we could, and just waited and waited until finally we didn't hear it. And then it was like we never said anything. We weren't like 1, 2, 3. We just fucking, I don't know if it's because one of us got up, so everyone just got up, and then we just fucking ran back. That there was a shovel next to the tree. It wasn't an axe or a machete, but there was a shovel by there. We went back to our house. We went into the, back to the bunk bed, and we didn't really talk about it. Went to sleep. Next morning, we went back up. Shovel wasn't by the bent tree, but you could see muddy like footprints, or really big boot prints that were there. So in retrospect, there's a lot of things that it could have been. It could have been an adult that heard kids out in the woods and was like, "What the? Why do I hear kids?"
How far away were these woods from the house you were at?
Maybe, by the furthest we went, probably like, I don't know, like 100 yards, 80 yards. It was a distance. It was a distance, and it was into the woods, regardless.
Yeah.
But the thing is that always weirded me out when I thought back to it was if it was genuinely someone looking for someone, that they would have said something. Yeah, they would have been like, "Hey, kids, is there somebody back here? What are you kids doing out here? It's late." It would have been something. But there wasn't that. This dude was dead silent.
Yeah.
And clearly following us.
And there's no way he didn't hear you.
No, absolutely not. He walked straight up the same path we did. Yeah.
He stopped.
We were talking while we were like walking as well, so it wasn't like we were clearly making noise. So as far as like an actual scariest moment that I felt like my heart kind of going crazy and left like an impression, that would be it. There's plenty of other scary things, almost getting hit by cars or whatever, but that's the one that definitely left an impression.
Yeah.
Damn.
Chris, have you said it?
I farted really hard and blood came out of my underwear.
That is not scary.
You said you ran into tinkers that were like assholes.
When was this?
You said there was like tinkers who like shoved you down or something?
It's probably not lying to you.
Probably not.
This sounds weird. What's a tinker?
It's an Irish gypsy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Irish ship seems like a scum.
But the scariest thing I can recall
Like
is
Snatch?
Yeah, exactly like Snatch.
Yeah.
Exactly like Snatch. But when I went home for Christmas this year, I was staying at my mom and dad's house, and one night my mom came home and she was like bawling her eyes out, and I was like, "What the fuck happened?" Oh god, because like she's had a rough year and shit, so I was like, someone probably fucking died, like more than likely.
Last thing she needed.
Yeah, exactly right. So I was like, "Fucking guy," and she was like, "I just saw a dog get hit by a car," and I was just like, "Oh, that's horrible, but it's not as bad as I thought. At least no one's dead."
Yeah.
But she's like, "But I saw him like get hit, and then I saw him twitching, and I saw him like going, "Arr!" and spasming out and shit." And I was like, "That's horrible, Mom. I'm sorry." And she's like, "I don't know if anyone stopped to help him," and I was just like, I don't want to make you go back and look at it, but maybe we should go back and see if it's okay. She said it was like close by, so she's like, "I don't want to do that. I can't." I was like, just fucking park across the road and just close your eyes, and I'll go over and see if it's okay.
Sure.
She was like, "Okay," and then
You brave boy.
she pulled over on the side of the road, which was busy at the time because it was rush hour and it was like pitch black. I got out of the car and her headlights were facing this like dog that was like just breathing and was lying there, and I was like, "This is fucking shitty." But I went over to it and it was alive, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I went over to it and I was about to put my hand on it, and then a fucking black pit bull jumped out of the ditch and it was just going, "Arr, arr, arr, arr," and I was just like, "Oh my fucking god!" Just like frozen space, like with my hands out at it, like.
Yeah.
Just remember, don't make any sudden movements, like back as slowly as you can. It was just barking at me the whole time.
Yeah.
I was just worried that my mom would see like her son get his throat ripped out right before Christmas. Like that's all she fucking needed, right?
Christmas.
Yeah, right. And I was just like back, and the dog was barking. I just like look over and see her in the car going like, "Ah!" And I was just like, I was shitting my absolute pants because pit bulls are fucking scary.
Chris, like your story is a lot like the scary situation for me. Because the reason why I don't like big dogs is it actually happened to my sister.
Wait, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Long story short, dog died. The end. Okay, go.
Okay. Well, my sister actually, like at a youngish age, she got bit by a dog. Like a dog like latched onto her and fucked up her arm, like when she was young. Apparently, the dog was like jealous because my dad would give attention to her, and like he was obviously like he was nursing the dog. So when the dog saw that he was giving affection, because they can do that.
Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah, and it got jealous and like bit her, and then he like fucking kicked the dog and like put it down or whatever because of that. Because he was taking care of it because he was gonna give it somebody. He's like, this dog is not stable. But for me, like after that, I was always afraid of dogs, and I was never really into a dog situation. But this is almost crazy. I had heard that like at some point there was an attack and a dog was free, and I was like walking down a block and it was like one of these like huge like dogs. I don't really know what kind of dog it was, but it was right there, and then it was like gnarling its teeth, and I had come in close to it, and I didn't know what the fuck to do in a situation like that. I thought I was gonna be like mauled because a person had already gotten his like arm ripped apart from a dog, and I thought it was the same dog, and it probably was. So from there, the first thing I did was I ran because like I mean, what else am I gonna do? Just stand there and wait for the dog?